anytime we talk about tech, it is kind of like the same as a lead conversation. It's, what does tech do? It gives you your time. It's supposed to make you more efficient, so you have more time. That's the goal of it. But anytime you're dealing with something that's offering time, there's money. There's a conversation of money.
We're back for another episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast. I got Chris, I got Zach, and today we're talking about telesales. We're talking about life telesales and the tech that is needed to be successful in selling insurance over the phone. Is it just over the phone? Or is it via the Zooms?
That's a good question.
Let's talk about it, boys. What do you need?
This is all about the boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop technology, right?
I have no
That's the
idea.
noise of technology.
Yeah,
Was that a callback to
That's
dial-up?
a robot. That's a robot.
Was
noise.
that a callback to dial-up internet?
Is that what it was? I don't know.
Because that didn't sound anything
No.
like it.
No, I'm
And
glad we
I don't
don't
think
have dial-up.
robots sound like that either.
A little bit.
I don't know what era you're in. You
my
are
robot,
stuck.
My robot's not
You're
like
stuck
that.
in a robot era.
sounded like his Roomba
Edit it
vacuum
out.
was getting ready to
Let's
turn
talk
on.
about tech needed for life sales.
Okay.
What do you need? And don't say a pencil and a
Piece of paper.
what is that thing? What do you got there?
What are these called?
A teachable,
Remarkable.
a remarkable.
Which I do like. I do like the Remarkable.
Because I can't.
It's not we aren't sponsored yet by
No,
them, but
we're not sponsored by
we
Remarkable.
will take the loot.
You don't need a remarkable.
No, you don't need a
I don't know how to get that to my Google Docs.
No.
It's very difficult.
I do think that people do get held up from actually taking action because they think they need a lot of technology.
Yeah.
And to get rolling, you need a cell phone. I would say a cell phone. You could use a landline, but I would say a cell phone.
A landline sounds so funny
A
now.
laptop. I don't think they're crazy expensive anymore.
A computer of some sort.
Yeah, a computer that
Whether
you
it
can
be
receive.
a tablet or a notebook or
Most lead vendors are gonna send you a spreadsheet or the Google Sheet or something like that. Google
a
Sheet
CSV
or
file
CSV
or an Excel spreadsheet with leads.
Yeah. So if you have, that's enough to get going, just to get started.
Cell
that's
phone,
enough.
a computer,
Yeah,
and a way to manage your leads.
correct.
Google Sheets.
Yeah, I've done it both ways. Like, just color code your leads as you go and call. You sell, make them green. You don't sell, make them orange, because red is very
Bad.
aggressive.
Red's very aggressive. And you're a yellow,
Blue.
so you don't like the red colors.
Blue,
You
call
like
them
yellow.
back. There
Yellow,
you go.
yellows, greens, and blues.
Blues are callbacks.
Yeah.
But that's the basics of just rubbing sticks together, getting it going. But I would rather somebody do that and take action than wait 3 weeks and build their own CRM. They don't even know what that stands for.
They're not going to do it
No.
in 3 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
But that's kind of I'll just say that's the entry point. I think that's the entry point. Having your cell phone and even I think some of our agents I was using Burner app on my cell phone to be able to use area codes and areas that I had my leads in.
Burner app sounds like you're destroying emails or something. Is that similar to Bleach Bit?
I don't know what it is.
Is that similar to Bleach Bit?
Makes me think about him recording his own mixtape, putting them in a CD player.
That's right. It's those old burner CDs.
Yeah.
Burner app?
Yeah. When was the last time you burnt a CD? Do you remember?
2005.
Adam says 2005.
Adam he immediately knew the answer to that.
2005.
That was great.
So the question on that, Chris, is if you're just getting started, and we talked about the technology needed to be successful, and you talked about the technology needed to get started and rub sticks together.
Yeah.
What level of success do you think you can achieve on that basic level of technology?
I think you can do pretty decent. Like, I think you can
What does that mean, decent?
I think you can do $5,000 to $7,000 a week.
A week?
Yeah. Yeah. Without
Would
much-
it take you longer because you didn't have some efficiency tools?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But you could still be successful.
You can be successful. And I would say that's what we just described here, rubbing sticks together, is a starting point. That's what it needs to be considered, a starting point, because this has progressed so quickly, and there's so many resources and tools out there now.
Yeah.
It'd be silly. I mean, the cost of entering into the next level of these types of sales is not difficult. To barrier to entry, I guess that's what the word is.
Yeah.
I would say with that, Chris, like, in my opinion, if you were starting telesales, I would almost prefer my agents to start that way because it teaches them the value of the call. They're also, when they're dialing every number, that means they're looking at the name instead of using a power dialer or just going through a ton. It allows you to automatically start assuming you know who it is, you know who they're going to answer, what are they going to sound like. You're really intentional. And usually when you're starting out, you also have a lower budget as far as your leads come. So you're being more intentional for it. You're taking more notes. You're listening a little bit better instead of just kind of getting in that rhythm of just almost going through the motions to where you're dehumanizing yourself. Now that can work later on once you've developed that success and you're almost autopilot, but you know what to listen for in the sets, you know what tonalities to use, you know when to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
But as a beginner, you don't really know that. And I think this allows you to learn that.
I'll agree with you. The tricky part is if you're doing that type of work on the front side of just getting started, you have to be prepared for a lot of no contact. I mean, it's a lot of dials. Like, you're getting calluses from, I don't know if that's true, but it's a lot of dials that you're just dialing, hoping somebody's going to answer. And so you may not be getting the experience that you're describing. Like, you're saying you're talking to a lot of people, but you're not talking to a lot of people. Like,
initially, you're just doing a lot of dials.
Yeah, you're learning to dial. And those conversations come, but it only comes with volume. That's it. So I do see a value of picking up a power dialer. I think heck, the more conversations you have, the better, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the better you are with it.
Yeah.
And I do see the value of being able to click something and set an appointment instead of writing it on a notepad, and then you have all these sticky notes all over your desk. I've done that, So, but I get what you're saying, Zach, about the humanization side of things. And because the system's working, it can feel like you're just going, like you said, going through the motions.
Where people are not people,
Yeah,
where they're just a number.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to learn. You got to learn how to do it. You got to have some success. You got to have some belief, and then comes the technology to make it super efficient. Mm-hmm. Like that's that second step to really just take what's already there and let's scale it up big time. And I think that's where that comes in.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to, we said telesales, but I would almost want to say, virtual sales.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like now. Virtual sales could be on a Zoom meeting, could be on a Google Meet, or it could be over the phone. Depending on the need of your client.
Do you know a lot of people doing Zoom meetings?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious about it. Like,
yeah.
When I was doing the virtual sales, I felt more comfortable with the telesales side of it. Mm-hmm. Actually, I tried to do Zoom meetings, but I kept running into a lot of seniors who weren't I was setting up Zoom for them,
Yeah.
So now I worked for Zoom.
Now you got to teach somebody.
Yeah.
Now you got to teach somebody a new technology.
But
before
now
you can talk
it's
to them
probably different because on the front side when I was doing that Zoom, it was closer to the front side of COVID. Mm-hmm. So then I just adapted and did telesales. So
it was a learning curve for you and them.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's all admit it. We all have our own learning curve when it comes to tech. Nobody really wants to admit it, but the minute you don't know something, it becomes inefficient, and you default back to something that works for you, so you lean on that.
Yeah, but both work, though.
They do. They do. Mm-hmm. I would say that the people who are having a higher level of success over Zoom are generally dealing with a younger clientele, people, and they're dealing with people who potentially have more to invest.
Higher net worth.
Mm-hmm. Different types of cases. We're talking about using different strategies. Because if I'm talking to somebody about their retirement planning, maybe setting up an IUL strategy for a tax-free retirement plan, as well as, some other potential high-ticket items. We call them high-ticket, but it's really about what the consumer needs.
Yeah.
that's hard to do on a one-call telephone.
Yes, that
sale.
makes sense.
You see
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? But final expense is
Well,
more
I think
of
that's
a,
helpful for them to understand that
final
too.
expense, or the older the client is, the easier it is for them to do a telesale because you're not having to teach them something new. They know how to use their phone.
Correct.
So why don't we break it down from there a little bit and say if you're going to be doing telesales on that side where we're just using the phone, is there anything else you need to let's phrase it this way. What technology tools can you implement to make the process easier, better, more efficient, more effective?
Yeah. So when we talked about initially about using your cell phone in Google Sheets, that is just to get started. But there's great stuff, and it gets better every day. So power dialers, I think that's pretty slick. That's pretty cool stuff the kids are using. I say that for you. Yeah. He's just frozen in time now. He can't even get a drink. Power dialers. And this technology allows you to dial multiple numbers at the same time until somebody finally picks up, and then you're able to speak to them.
And then you're in play.
You're in play. Boom. I'd take that every day.
Yeah. So then you have to have a way to manage your leads into a dialer,
Correct.
right? And that's some automation on a computer where your leads can feed into that dialer, and you have to be able to have enough tech savvy to make that work.
Yeah.
Start the process.
Yeah. And now,
Or even just click the dial, through your computer or through your dialer. You can just click the dial as well instead of having to, just put it on automation and let it run on its own, or having to tap in each phone number individually. You can click on that number and your computer will actually do it for you when you're ready to make the next dial. Those kind of things make your process simpler.
Right.
A lot of times those dialers also have recording features built in, because if you have the, that way, if you are doing applications, you are doing signatures, depending on what you're selling, you can obviously be able to have an entire recording or clip pieces of your recording to be able to be used for
The underwriting process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of these underwriters require that still.
Yeah. The CRM is it's not new. It's a new game to me. Newer in the last 3 years. Everything's accelerated since COVID, right? So I don't think we talked a lot about the CRM stuff, before telesales. I know that a lot of Medicare agents did. There's a different reason for that. But now, I don't know anybody who's doing this long term or who's having a lot of success who's using their burner phone and spreadsheets. I don't think they are. I think they're using CRMs, and now there are a dime a dozen, it seems like, that are out there. But
again, I just got a picture of you hopping into this pawn shop and buying 3 burner phones and running out.
yes, yeah, my flip phones. Yeah, I just
the old ones. When you're done with it, you drop it in the trash as you keep walking
he breaks it
down
in
the
half
street.
first.
Yeah,
break it in half.
Yeah,
And throw
Mission
it
Impossible
throw it
type
in the gutter.
deals where you're picking up. Again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about downloading an app on your phone called Burner App.
Yes.
And it allows you to select multiple area codes from the areas that you're dialing
They
into.
actually have a power dialer too. CRM power dialer.
Dan, if
Burner
you say
does.
power dialer one more time.
He loves saying power dialer.
It's fun to say it. See, you're
mean,
happy. You
that's
weren't
like-
even smiling before, but
That's
now
like
you
the
said-
fifth, but the next technology you're going to talk about is the power dialer. Right?
I don't know if you've heard of this one. It's called power dialer.
I like how you just don't call it a dialer. It's a power dialer.
A dialer's great. I like dialers.
Dude, I wish we had CRMs back when we started.
No kidding.
My CRM is a list of turbo scans in my phone that I save the client's name.
But you
as
didn't
their
at first, did you?
No, I had that pretty
Yeah.
much the whole time.
Okay.
But
So you were using an app called TurboScan.
using an app called TurboScan, but looking at what a CRM is for now, like that would be so nice to be able to have notes in there, to have a copy of my application in there, to have the client's birthdays, their phone numbers, their addresses. And because one thing that's not talked about enough in the life insurance side of this business is most agents don't
Service their
they don't service their clients more than probably the first two to 3 years, right?
Maybe not
If
even
that.
that. I would say it's
Probably
pretty
not
low.
even that,
yeah.
but
I would go way low on that number.
But to be able to have a constant relationship with them and really utilize that referral market of their other family members, people they know, because it's not just them, but people they know are passing away. And if you're always on top of mind and checking in with your clients, that would be huge. I wish I had that for all my clients. To send automatic birthday reminders or birthday cards, or to if I wanted to schedule quarterly check-ins with them, just to send them a gift, or to simply
Annual reviews.
Take notes on their family, of their kids when they're hitting certain ages. So now we can talk to their kids about, because now, like when we started, this IUL and tax-free retirement, and all these other products and annuities, like we came in just selling one type of insurance, which is like most people. But having that, say we had that back then, now we could remarket our entire book of business for other products that would actually be amazing for the clients that we already had.
Yeah.
Except now you call them up and like, oh, who are you?
Yeah.
I think that would have been awesome.
I did, on the Turbo Scan, I did add the carrier along with the name.
Slick.
Boom. There you go.
You were high tech.
I was ahead of my time.
So in addition to the dialer, other things would be like some integrations in your CRM. So CRM, Client Relationship Manager,
Yes.
right? So for you to, some people call it a lead management system,
Yeah.
an LMS. People will refer to it as that. LMS is pretty basic, right? We're just managing leads.
Yeah.
Pretty like a base level CRM. And then a CRM, a full service CRM, has a bunch of integrations that you can get in it.
A lead management, they're probably not always the same, correct? Because some lead vendors will provide a lead management system that doesn't allow you to edit or make changes or put notes in like that. It's just a way for them to get you the leads.
It's really to disposition as well.
Right.
Hey, this
you are
one,
managing your leads, but it's limited.
Yes, set an appointment. This one's a callback. This one's a heck no. This one I wrote an app on, those types of things. Honestly, you would like to have a CRM that had a built-in lead management system with it. And the leads being the leads that you purchase direct mail or you purchase digital, or have them all uploaded right into it.
A lot of people don't think about the second or third pieces that you can add to that, things like email integrations. So like if there's an email client, we call it an email client, that's attached to your CRM, where you get those birthday reminders. And when you get them, you can have pre-automated, pre-built birthday messages and wishes to go out to people. You can do it in text, SMS, or email. And so now you can follow up and send out. But in addition to that, if some of those leads are like, I'd like a little bit more information, or I'd like a little more time, and they were a no, and you're not like a lot of people, just, chuck the lead and never call it back again. You want to nurture that lead. There's a way to put them into a second position or a third position in the pipeline. We call it a pipeline in a CRM, where now they fall into a different category, so that at a certain date from when you talk to them, they get a follow-up email. Hi, it's Zach, just reaching back out. Had some more information on this that I thought you might be interested in. Rates in your areas are, coming down, whatever, for your mortgage. And I just wanted to touch base, share that information with you. If anything's changed since the last time we talked, here's a way to get me. You click now to schedule your appointment. And you can attach a little thing called a Calendly link, another piece of tech, into an email. And all of a sudden now you're starting to build a cohesive communication platform that is supporting you and making your life more efficient, so that you can stay connected and stay focused on the thing that makes you the most money, which is talking to people.
This is the tricky part, I think, for independent agents, is they hear these things. Like, all right, so on the telesales side, I know I can get this this Google Sheet mailed to me, and I can do the phone thing, I guess, and I can get started there. But then you start saying these crazy words like Calendly.
Or what's your favorite?
CRM or Power Dialer. All these great words. And
Chris, what was that again?
but you have trouble.
We need Power Dialer. When he says that, like echoing.
Yeah, we need to.
You're going to put a count? Oh, you're going to put a count?
Even better. Power Dialer. But when you hear, I know what a new agent's thinking is like, how do these these pieces fit together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Chris said, I have to get a power dialer, right? And you might as well go buy Morse code beeper thing because it's not going to help you at all because you don't have a CRM, right? Everybody knows that. So what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to go look for a CRM. They're going to check out all these places. What is it? Radius Bob,
Agency Block,
CRM Bob. I don't know all the CRM names, but they're going to start looking for these things. And I don't know what kind of support. Like if you have tech, you have to have support. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Like
or
where
a
do you
team
go?
that's also using the same tech, so you can get support from them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as an island to yourself, trying to figure that out,
It's
boy,
difficult.
that's disastrous.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got a little piece of technology.
Unless you want to call Zach.
You can call me.
Zach will help you with all of it.
I'll
all the
take
tech
handwritten notes for you.
Thanks,
Keep it in a
buddy.
filing cabinet.
The old
In your
green ones.
basement.
The green
I like
ones that you
that,
had the little
actually.
silver
Yeah.
clasp, but you pulled where you could pull the drawer out.
But something that would be nice to have that I never had because it really wasn't a thing back when I was in the field full time is having some sort of multi-quoting tool. Like to have
that's
that
good tech,
now
man.
and really what the concept is to be able to set the carriers that you're contracted with or that you want to write, and you're sitting there talking to Miss Betty on the phone because you used your power dialer, right?
I like that. Good use.
And you're talking to her and you're going through it, and now you're coming towards the end of your script or your presentation that you're moved through, and now you're looking at some different possible options for them. And you're able to literally pull up as many companies as you want, quotes at the same time for this one client's, age and type of product you're looking for, and you're able to cross compare all in one platform, which is really, really neat. Before it was you had to use your brain, and then you had to go into, luckily, you had to go into each carrier had their own little tiny quoting tool that you had to go and do
I
it.
still got the app.
Yeah.
I was in that app this morning on my phone.
And so you would have to go to each carrier's quoting tool to get the quote. And I remember when I very first started, there was a few carriers that you had to take the agent manual, go to
Do the rate
the
calculation.
rate calculation and do it manually.
Guess what didn't get written?
Exactly. You had to do the manual math to find out what the quote is.
There it is.
I
And-
created a folder called quotes, and it had
Yeah.
all the individual carrier quote on the mobile quote tool.
So I know one of those is insurance toolkits that utilizes that as well, and you can literally set that for your agency, which is really cool, really neat. I think that would be a definitely must-have technology that would probably be used literally in every phone conversation that you had with a client.
Yeah.
And you could have that on desktop version. You can have that on your phone, and you can quote anything you want all at the same time. And if they have a competitive company, and you can be able to look at those rates as well and speak from an area of confidence.
Yeah, if you work for like a large group, oftentimes they'll have a quote tool for traditional products, for all these fully underwritten ones where you can go in and do a quote, but it comes with a illustration and lots of other things that you need to take into account.
Yeah.
Insurance toolkits, which is probably our preferred vendor that does this. We have a relationship with them on our agency side. They are very good in the simplified issue space. So they do med subs, they do simplified issue term and simplified issue final life or for final expense. They also do like dental, vision, and health. So it's a pretty broad platform, and it brings it all in together. What they don't do is the fully underwritten stuff. So they do the simplified stuff. So if you're in the simplified space, insurance toolkits is a great resource. We might even be able to put a link here somewhere for people to find that on our agency side where they can get access to that. Another tool that a lot of people use that are in the final expense space is a product called Best Plan Pro. Best Plan Pro is almost final expense specific, so they don't broaden out and diversify into the term and a lot of the other products, but they're very good for integrating most of the final expense carriers to make it simple, quick, and easy for agents to get in there, do a comparison where they're looking at 2 or 3 side by side, and then bringing that in for the client so they can either display it on a Zoom call or give them the answers verbally. And with a high level of confidence that with the way you answered your questions, Miss Betty, I think one of these three options is going to be best. And as you can see here, SBLI or Mutual of Omaha is going to be the best product for you, and then you can go into your quote. So that's a huge feature.
Oh yeah.
When I got started, I had to learn how to calculate it in the back of the rate book. That makes me old, and I've only been in the
Right.
I mean, we started our first agency in 2014. This is 2023. It's 9 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I got into business in 2011, but so literally in 12 years, I mean, it's come so far.
Yeah, and you can do e-applications directly from the pulled up information.
Insurance toolkits, you just hit.
No more paper
Go
cuts,
to your
Chris.
app.
No more paper cuts.
Takes you directly to the e-application of choice by that carrier, so you can go ahead and submit your business.
Would you guys call that, like that tool, a power underwriter?
Well, he called it a multi-quote tool. He wanted another word in front of quote, so he put the word multi, like you put the word power in front of dialer. So instead of a quote tool, it's a multi-quote tool.
I like that.
Instead of a dialer, it's a power dialer. So I got to come up with something.
We're all about
I need a
adjectives.
2-word.
We're all about
I
adjectives.
need a
bro.
2-word tech
That's right.
thing that's happening in here.
This is it's been interesting on our side, on the agency side. We have a lot of these conversations about tech, and it's been fun building out some of the tech tools and seeing the response from people. Like I didn't expect it to be received so well.
Yeah.
We did put a lot of the work into this stuff, and some of the tools that we developed, whether it's CRM. I mean, we dug in, rolled up our sleeves, and it has made a huge difference for us. So I think people need to know that it is available, it is out there, it does work. Anytime we talk about tech, it is kind of like the same as a lead conversation. It's, what does tech do? It gives you your time. It's supposed to make you more efficient, so you have more time. That's the goal of it. But anytime you're dealing with something that's offering time, there's money. There's a conversation of money. So you
I have
to
another
find where
question
it
for you
fits.
about preferences, and we may be running a little over, but I wanted to ask the question. Do you guys have a preference when it comes to like a virtual meeting interface? Like there's Google Meet.
Oh,
There's Microsoft
dude.
Teams.
Yeah,
There's Zoom. There is.
that's a good question.
There's another one called GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting. Skype. Okay.
Wow.
Like I just deleted Skype off my phone this weekend. I was thinking I haven't used that in years. I think the last time I used Skype was when I was in Ireland, like 12 years ago.
What's the new one? That's the big WhatsApp. WhatsApp's like taking over Skype, right?
WhatsApp's pretty broad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got
it all.
Facebook product, right?
Yeah.
So, of those major interfaces for virtual meetings, Teams, Google Meet, Zoom, GoToMeeting, do you guys have a preference?
I tried.
What's your preference? I know what our preference
I tried
is.
Teams once in college and I didn't like it. Two,
Did you get
I
cut?
always get irritated when it's on the Microsoft one or the Google one. Whenever I show up in a meeting on that, I'm like, I don't want to be here.
I don't either.
I'm so used to Zoom. I'm a Zoom fan, I guess.
The saying the GoToMeeting, it shows me on there, and it's always 8 seconds after whatever I say for some reason.
Oh, there's a delay.
And it like
On
the
a GoToMeeting?
movement delay. Oh man, it drives me insane.
Interesting.
I don't know
How
why.
do you feel about Microsoft Teams? Because some of our carriers use that and insist that they have to use it for security purposes.
Really? I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah,
You guys,
I only want to be on Zoom. I like Zoom. It's simple. You have multiple mic options, multiple video options.
The grandparents, like that's probably the grandparents' choice.
It might be, but you also
The cool kids are using
You
Zoom.
can access a whiteboard on there and draw
Yeah.
for your clients, and
Yeah.
then you can have them saved for any Zooms that you're on. So if you create a whiteboard template of explaining
I did
some
not
sort
know
of
that.
insurance
Look at
on
this guy.
there,
yeah, you can save your whiteboard.
they can literally, you can pop it up and show an example of a result or whatever for any clients. Like it's so easy and convenient, but the picture quality is really good and it's easy.
I think the picture quality is the best with Zoom.
Yeah.
It is the most stable platform by far for even when things get a little, we do them all the time. There's people driving down the highway and we're doing, they're on Zooms with us in the passenger seat doing a Zoom and we're on the entire time. We never drop. And you get on some of these others and it's like this blurred image and I feel like I'm on a watching a
offense.
show of 60 Minutes and they've got some person's face blurred out and their voice is modeled, and I don't know who I'm talking to, but they're talking about something scary.
Feels like it's going to be scary.
You know what I mean? And the integration of how to change things. I like the fact that Zoom, you can put virtual backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you can create your own virtual meeting ID. You guys know that?
Your own virtual meeting ID.
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
just create your own virtual meeting ID.
Oh.
Half of Chris's Zoom still says Roger Short at the bottom of them.
I'll figure that out someday. It's like the blinking VCR thing.
They don't
Nobody
know
knows
what
what a
you just said.
VCR
No,
is.
you just said
Or
three
that check
letters.
engine light.
You just said
Check
three
engine
letters.
light. They'll know that one, won't they? Yeah.
Yeah, all the millennials
check
know what the
engine
check engine light is.
That's right.
They just don't know why
Just
it's important.
leave it on. That's right.
Yeah, so Zoom by far is
I agree.
is my favorite interface.
Yep.
You can record.
I'd love to hear from our listeners
Yeah.
what theirs is, because there may be something we don't know about
Yeah.
Microsoft Meetup. Teams.
Yeah.
Microsoft Teams. Not from. I don't think I remember. I might have been on one or two of those. I know I was on the Google machine one, and I wasn't a fan.
So let me ask you another question now. Okay, tied back to this. Of all the major platforms for collaboration, okay,
Oh yeah.
do you prefer Excel and Word, or do you prefer Google Sheets and Docs?
I'm a huge Google fan now. Yeah.
Except for Google Meet.
Yeah. Isn't that
You
something?
like everything they have except for the Meet, the
Yeah,
virtual meeting.
Their Google Meet is usually dry. I always have to send it back. Come on, that was not a good joke. I'm sorry, guys. Take that one out. Just totally delete that.
Yeah.
The meat is usually dry. It's overcooked. If you said overcooked, it would have been better.
Yeah, that would have been a better line.
Yeah.
No, I do like the Google platforms, and I'll tell you why. Because I try to do the Docs and the PowerPoint one, and it's not
Or
as,
Word, you mean?
Yes,
Microsoft Word
See,
and
I even
PowerPoint?
up to the language. Yes, Word and PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And I had trouble collaborating with people.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to connect with people.
Yep.
And I don't know, Google's just so intuitive. It's very
Google is
simple.
more intuitive when it comes to collaboration. I love the collaboration ability on Docs and Sheets and
Slides. Oh,
are
dude,
great. If
that's
you're doing
phenomenal.
small presentations,
Yeah.
you can build your own slides inside of Google.
I mean, we have the tech team that we have. We are moving so fast on edits. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
being able to have them, our design team, like when we're working on slides or inside of other presentation pieces, do this, bam, bam, bam. I mean, it's flying how quick.
Adam just told me that we don't even need him anymore because of AI. AI is able to edit this podcast.
Wow.
You can actually, there's an editing software. Am I true? Am I telling the truth, Adam?
We had a good run, buddy.
There's a plug-in.
He said-
And it will actually edit out all the ums,
It's-
or if we wanted to edit out all the word power, like in our, you can pull it and it will
Get
edit
outta
it all
here.
out and splice it all together and deliver you the final version.
Podcast is probably 5 minutes long.
We had a good run. Thanks, Adam. It's called Adam. The irony is
The AI is called Adam Intelligence.
there it is. There it is. Your kid's not going to eat, but
Yeah.
we had a good run.
By the way, Adam just became a dad ×2. Just had a brand new baby. Congrats to
buddy.
Adam. Yeah, there you go. He's back in studio. He was out for a couple of weeks taking care of
We missed
taking care
you.
of his bride and his little one.
Yep.
Still doing that, of course, but
Yeah.
he's back now on more
Very
regular
good.
state. But there's all kinds of stuff happening with tech. And I think as you're growing your business, these are basic tools that anyone can use. There's good products out there that you can check into for CRMs and things like that. If you have a favorite one, like Chris said,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear from you. What is your favorite one and why?
CRM, dialer, interface, whatever, Zoom,
Yeah.
Microsoft Seats, whatever we're calling it. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Roger, I'm just going out on the ledge here. Do you have a recommended CRM for people? Do you?
Do I have one?
Yeah. Like, is there one, like, if they were just getting started, you're like, hey, I don't know if you've heard, like, this one's not too shabby. That's a pretty decent
Well,
one.
I
to get
know that
started with.
Agency Block and Radius Bob just consolidated.
Oh,
I think
I didn't know
Agency
that.
Block
Okay.
just purchased Radius Bob. And that's a pretty adaptable and widely used one in the industry. If you're an independent agent, you're not affiliated with anyone, that can do a lot for you. That can help you manage your clients. It's also very much valued, I know, in the Medicare space for people managing their Medicare book of business. So that's a good one, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But of course, on our agency side, I'm biased because we have one, we have built one, we have invested into it, and so it comes with the entire platform.
That wasn't a loaded question.
No?
I do.
I didn't know if you were teeing me up there. I'm like, is he teeing me up?
No, I do know that people. I know people have that question launching from moving from their cell phone to a CRM to receive their leads and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They just need to know where to go. So
that's right.
You can start that conversation there. And if you do have questions, you can reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you or direct you in the tools that are most useful to us.
And I'll say this, just in all transparency, right? In all transparency, for those of you who've been watching and listening to us long enough, you know that we're actually in the insurance business. We just don't talk about it. We're actually in the business. We write business. We help agents write business. We are partners in another agency. We have a full IMO national distribution channel for what we do. We don't promote it on this channel a lot. Every now and then you'll see it pop up because it's who we are. We can't hide who we are and what we do. But we wanted this platform here at Life Insurance Academy to be an open forum for all insurance agents. That's why you see guests on this show from across the industry, from different IMOs, what one would consider maybe one of my competitors. We will interview them on our channel and talk about what's working for them, because we wanted this to be a space where people could discover one of the best kept secrets in America, a way that people can change their life in this insurance and financial services business. And we needed a lot of voices to be able to do that. And I think we've done it. But at the same time, we're not, we don't want to hold back information from you either. We are who we are. And so with our agency, with Impact Legacy Group, we do have that platform, and we've built a lot of these tools. And so a lot of our conversation stems from us interacting with agents on a daily basis. But plug in to the people that you're connected to, lean in, ask them about the tech, the best tools that can help you. And if you're an independent agent, some tools like a Radius Bob agency block, that would help you get started as long as you have a phone and a computer.
There are two pieces to tech. Whenever you're dealing with tech, one is the actual tool. The other is the support.
Correct.
Because if I have a tool, a chainsaw, and I don't know how to use it, it can be dangerous. Right?
Yeah.
I hope you don't have a chainsaw.
Right. If I don't have the booklet, the manual, if I don't have somebody who can walk me through the process of it, those are the two important things. You know, what does the tool do? What does it accomplish? And do you have support?
Yeah.
That's important stuff.
And when you say support, it's a community of people that can help you understand how to best use the tool. Right?
Yeah.
That's why there's all these groups and on Reddit, and there's all kinds of places where you can go and discover information and develop communities of people who are having success. And we know that you found this one to be one of those communities, our YouTube channel. So
cool.
Thanks for listening. Hope this helped today. We kind of circled a lot
Hey,
there.
we had some fun.
We talked about some different tech pieces, but we hope it helps for new agents in particular. And if you're wanting to know more about who we are, check out the links below. Adam said he'll throw some other stuff there in the link in the channel. But if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe to us on Instagram, Facebook, or on LinkedIn. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and share it with someone else who might be able to benefit from this content. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast.